Hi and welcome to the Geek Legion of Doom. This is the B-movie review. I'll be having a look at the movie Amphibious 3D, also known as Deep Water. So this one's actually directed by Bryan, who you may know from Reanimator fame, as well as various other sort of creature feature and gore horror films. So this really focuses the story of a kind of really a fishing platform out in, I'm assuming out off this coast of Indonesia somewhere, since most of the cast here seem to be sort of Indonesian. And we've got a kind of a captain of a small boat played by Paré, who's taking out this sort of scientist on some sort of exploration mission where he's sort of doing some sort of marine biology. And we're also introduced to this sort of this crew of this fishing platform, including this sort of young kid who seems to be sort of have some sort of mystical powers going on. They're attacked by this kind of giant sort of sea scorpion, and who seems to be sort of focusing its attacks on this sort of fishing platform. So the story really focuses on those sort of characters and obviously their struggle against this sort of giant sea scorpion. There's also a subplot involving sort of child labour and the bad working conditions. So this being a Bryan film, you kind of expect to sort of see reasonable sort of special effects and kind of good monster effects, and I would say that is the case. The scorpion monster, obviously for a low budget film, does look pretty decent, but to be honest with you, the main problem here is the actual story is pretty nonsensical. I mean, we're not told where the sort of scorpion comes from. The young child has this sort of mystical connection to it, which is never really explained apart from it looks like it's some kind of magic, but we're not really told why or how or what the actual motivations of it are. So it's a bit of a mess in that respect, unfortunately. And also the characters all tend to be fairly cliche, unfortunately, and the acting, being mostly Indonesian cast as I've mentioned, is a little bit choppy when clearly English is their second language. It's not a terrible film, as I say. There for a kind of a creature feature flick, it really just presses all the standard buttons you expect a film like this to press. And as I say, the monster effects aren't too bad, if a little bit cheap sometimes. They kind of use a mixture between sort of practical and CGI effects. But there's some very sort of internal logic sort of issues I have with this film. For example, it's the creature seems to be able to see with its tail when it sort of pokes its tail through like the platforms and stuff, and seems to be able to see where people are. When clearly you've got to think the actual main bulk of the scorpion must be underneath there. So it doesn't really make sense on a sort of practical scale and sort of physics and things like that. Because what's it doing underneath this platform, just sort of hanging around and floating on something? It's just, you know, it doesn't make sense to me. And there's a few other instances like that. It's got some kind of weird camera tricks that it does, but it does have quite a few effective scenes, I've got to say. The very final scene of this film is fairly disturbing. I won't tell you what it is. Again, it's one of these things which may leave you scratching your head, but it's kind of quite a disturbing image, I have to say. Certainly not terrible, but I've seen far better creature features, especially even from Bryan himself. So this one was a bit of a disappointment, I have to say, and I'm quite the fan of the aquatic horrors subgenre. So I'm going to give this one a 3.5 out of 10. Have you seen it? Let me know what you think. How do you think it compares to other sort of sea monster films? Leave a comment. I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.